I don't really agree with the new laws. I don't think that they address the real issue. I think they're unfair to people who are responsible and who do drink responsibly. I think they're a reactionary kind of, they're just a reaction to the issues that have arisen recently that don't really address the real problem, and they just kind of, they try to seem as though they do. Whereas in general they're just unfair to people who want to have fun and want to go out and like enjoy themselves, and I mean like all it's doing is, you know, affecting people's nights out, affecting businesses in general, and I don't think it really solves the problem at all.
Lockout law is absolute crap. You're throwing drunk people out on the street 3 a.m. with no public transport. That's how fights start.
I don't agree with it. No, I don't. It's disgusting, like seriously.
I can see how it would make sense, but I don't think it makes sense because it's literally just pushing all the drunk people that are violent onto the streets where they can then become violent at each other, instead of putting them into a taxi or putting them into some form of service that would get them home when they need to be home.
I believe that the lockout laws are
The ball shop closes at 10?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit drastic.
10 p.m. bottlers. That's ridiculous. People don't buy their grog at 10 p.m. They don't buy it before that, man. They buy it after.
I think it's basically a knee-jerk reaction. The government needs to look like it's doing something because of the guy that died. By doing a lockout at 1:30, you're going to end up with all these drunk people on the streets at the same time, which is going to mean that they're having fights outdoors instead of indoors where there's guards. You're also going to have, when you stop drinks at 3 a.m., there's going to be, you know, some people might still be looking for a buzz, and they might take, drugs or something instead to fill that niche. And the only good thing I think is just the free bus services that Barry did, but everything else I just don't.
Which is on that, in my area there are no public transport after 12 o'clock, so for me that's a bit ridiculous that I am actually in a curfew at the age of 29. So that's a bit stupid. Even my parents don't allow that curfew.
I believe this number one because it limits the amount of bars that you can go to, because realistically no one leaves the house till like 11, and then you're like, gotta commit to gotta go to one. And it's for me because I'm a bartender, so I finish work at like 12 o'clock, and then I can't go anywhere, and I hate it. I gotta go home.
Yeah, it's a bit weird how the laws don't apply to the casino, so we can go to the casino, get drunk, and
gamble, and
yeah, there's plenty of fights happen there as well. But so it's a bit of favoritism by the government, I guess.
who's paying who?
I've only been here for like 2 months now, a month and a half actually, and the lockout law is pretty ridiculous. So when a lot of the night, early hours of the morning is when it gets busy and active, and all the clubs seem to make a lot of money at that time in the morning. And traveling around the world, I've been halfway around the world now, and it's the first country I've been to where it's closed at 1:30 in the morning. So it's pretty bad, I would say. It kills your night big time. Kills it.
I feel like, you know what, it doesn't actually impact my life at all. And I'm sorry I'm the only person that thinks that, but yeah, it just doesn't matter to me.
We're in Sydney here, and it's a big city, and I just feel bad for the tourists coming around. It feels a bit backwards, but then it's good for the staff, and so I don't know where I stand. I'm a bit of a 50-50 man, but man, we are in Sydney, man. Like, a lot of tourists want to come here, and it's not a good look for them.
I've been staying in the King's Cross for nearly 8 months now. I don't have a clue where I'm at now, but the drinking ban has swept the city like a f***ing wildfire. And is it 3 o'clock kickouts in the city? I don't really know what that means, because like the clubs and that, I'm pretty sure they stay open longer. Anyway, but I think 3 o'clock kickouts that's bedtime basically. By 3 o'clock comes, you need to hit the sack, you need to hit the hay, get your head down, pissed up. But I don't really know about the 3 o'clock bans. I think they probably work in the favour, because not many two pissheads are coming flooding the streets and that.
Because I feel like I'm at my final destination by 1 o'clock in the morning, so it doesn't matter.
Run out.
And sometimes I prefer Macca's than clubbing, so it's okay.
Also, if I'm going to punch someone at 9 p.m, I'm still going to punch them at 1 a.m.
Why should every other generation get like the freedom and every other country get the freedom and then Australia should
I've seen a fair few fights occur as per alcohol-fueled violence, and I think that perhaps the lockout has some sort of benefit because situational crime prevention deters people from getting too drunk, having too much of a good time, fighting over bullshit, and you know people should be home studying for like their exams and you know getting jobs, going to work on Sunday morning, and stop wasting money on alcohol. You know what I mean? Like what the alcohol going on Eckies is cheaper, $16 a pop. I paid $9 for a beer in there. $22 for a beer at that fucking bar over there. You know that's ecstasy's where it's at. You know, and there's no lockup in ecstasy yet.
Since they stopped serving drinks at 3, a lot of people are gonna rush to get as much drinks as they can before 3. So they're gonna, you know, it defeats the purpose because they're gonna get smashed just before 3.
So I live out way, and there's this club, and it shuts at 1, and you push everyone out in the street, and everyone's angry and they're punching each other, and they're everywhere. If you do that, then it's just going to cause more fights. Whereas if you let drunk people just like hang out and like sloth around the bars, no one's going to get hurt.
I mean, just because, like, as sad as it sounds, just because one kid got attacked doesn't mean we've got to alter or like pretty much just ruin everyone else's fun. I mean, like, you know, people want to go out, they want to have fun. I mean, ever since the new lockouts, I personally haven't really found clubs enjoyable anymore, so hence I've stopped going. And it's just even buying alcohol in general, like if you want to have a party and that, and like if you got alcohol and you run out early because you know you don't know how much you're going to consume, might be a party going off, you know, it's just, what are you going to do? I mean, if you want to scale off your friends, they're going to expect some reimbursement, but it's just everything's totally just gone, like, it's just not fun anymore. It's just they've taken the life out of everything. I mean, the 1 a.m. lockouts, I mean, you know, think of foreigners that think Sydney's like the hub of the nightlife and they want to check it out. They come here, they get here, hits 1 o'clock, and they're like, what is this? I mean, like back in back in Germany, I mean, like, hey, look, we hit the clubs 3 in the morning. It's just, as I've said, they've totally just sucked the life out of the nightlife of Sydney. It's just a real shame.